Hi everyone, welcome back to Total War Therapy, and today we're gonna answer to the question which is the best Slaanesh unit in 2025, of course before the release of the upcoming DLC. So don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed my video, and let's begin. At the bottom of the podium we find the Exalted Daemonettes of Slaanesh, that they kinda reflect the quintessence of the Slaanesh roster, and they have this mix of attributes that is quite unique in this game. First, they are not a defensive melee infantry. They have a good melee defense actually, but their very low armor, even if compensated by the physical resistance, is not enough to stand still against most of the other infantry units. But they have outstanding offensive stats. They have a lot of melee attack with the magical attribute and the charmed ability that basically reduce the melee attack of your enemy. They have a lot of weapon strength of 50 that multiplied for the 100 entities, and with the armor piercing damage it's just devastating. There is no armored elite infantry unit that can stand still against that. And they have a lot of charge bonus that is quite rare for an infantry unit, at least that high. Then they have the devastating flankers, so they have even more bonus when they're attacking the side of the back of your enemy. They have the Strider ability, so who cares if they are climbing a mountain or whatever, they would just not take that into consideration. And they cause fear. That for an infantry unit, not a monster, this is another very good quality. In the 8th position we find the Keeper of Secrets, and I know that many of you were probably expecting this unit in one of the top positions of this list, but I completely disagree, and I will explain you why. First, they are so expensive, they are so hard to recruit, you need 6 turns, and you cannot most of the time afford to keep a lord in one settlement doing nothing for 6 turns. It's just a huge waste of money, upkeep, and potential, and time, and everything. So it's very hard to recruit it, and at the same time it's a very huge target with no armor, a little of physical resistance, a shield, but just a bronze shield, so it will block just the 20% of the missile attack. And even with that, I mean, if you attack an army of high elves, believe me, they will go down very soon because they are very weak. The speed, of course, is one of the best attributes of this unit. That's why, if used correctly, can be powerful. If you chase down cavalry, other monsters, even if they are not specialized against large, but yeah, they can do quite a good job. Okay, they are so fast, they are so big, and they are quite scary. So if you try to flank an enemy and you find a Keeper of Secrets, you have to be very careful. The charge bonus is the same of a Chariot. They have a lot of weapon strength, armor piercing, a good melee defense and good melee attack, but as I said, if they are surrounded, since they are so weak, in any case they will go down very easily. They cause terror and all the other things of monsters, you know, and I still think that they are a good unit. That's why I put them in the 8th position of the best Slaanesh units. But at the same time they have so many weaknesses that justify them not being in one of the top positions. In the 7th position we find the Hellflayers. Normally I don't recruit the Seeker Chariots, I go directly to them because they are amazing. They have a lot of charge bonus that 70, I mean it's a lot even for the Chariots, and the speed of 100. 100 is normal for a flying units, for a dog, for a very fast cavalry, but for a Chariots it's so rare. They have a good armor compared to other, you know, demonic Slaanesh units, and this is a very good point because they will be far more resilient. And they have a lot of weapon strength with armor piercing, anti-infantry. The melee attack and melee defense are of course low because they are a Chariot, and then they have the poison that reduce the speed and the weapon strength of your enemies, so they will be even more protected. Then they have also, you know, as Slaanesh always, the Strider, the physical resistance. They cause terror, and no, sorry, they cause fear. So yeah, I mean, all this mix of attributes for me is awesome. They do a pretty good job in the game, and I really suggest to recruit them as your only Chariot option before the Exalted Seeker's Chariot, and you will never get disappointed. In the 6th position, we find the Hearseekers of Slaanesh, and of course it's quite the same for the Seekers of Slaanesh. Now, these are basically Daemonettes or Exalted Daemonettes riding the Seekers of Slaanesh. They have very little armor, like always, but they have the physical resistance and so on. So, I mean, it's a little compensated, but definitely not that much. Why I like this unit is because they are armor piercing with a lot of melee attack, a lot of melee defense. Elite cavalry, expensive, I mean, I have to admit they're expensive, but they can take care of most of the other flanking cavalry in the game. So if you use them both in an offensive or defensive way, they can in both cases do a very good job, because they protect you from all the others cavalry, and they are so fast. If others very elite cavalry, they sacrifice the speed for other attributes, in their case no. So if you see like a little army of dogs, light cavalry and probably chariots attacking your flank, they can take care of all of them, because they are fast, because they have a lot of weapon strength with ammo piercing damage, and yes, they can just move around, they're very elusive, and then they cause fear, they have the Strider and so on. So yeah, completely perfect for the job. The only problem, as I said, is that they are very, very expensive. Now it's the time to talk about the Chosen of Slaanesh, in particular the version with the Hellscourges. This is basically a wall. I mean, if you want to find a better definition of a wall in this game, you can just choose to name them. They have 70% of melee defense. That it's a lot, even for a dwarf unit. They have a good weapon strength, not that big, a good melee attack with poison effect, a lot of armor with 120, and they are shielded, and their shields are quite big. Then they have the charge reflection, the charge defense, they are immune to psychology. So it's a wall. I mean, nothing can move them. You cannot scare them, you cannot cause them fear, terror, you cannot charge them because it will be reflected against you, and even if you are that armor, they have even a little of physical resistance. So, I mean, they're just indestructible, and they even do damage. I mean, from a unit like that, you expect to be a wall that, I mean, doesn't do anything, but they are even damaging. And with the poison effect, they are very good for cross strategies where you want to, use the hammer and devil tactic, for example, that you distract the enemy with them, you take them busy while you are flanking with your other fast units. And with the poison effect, as I said, their stats will be reduced, so you will hit them even harder. So yeah, they are very, very expensive, but when you recruit one of these units, you know that, I mean, it's very hard to lose them, so you can rely on them, definitely. This is probably the most unexpected choices that I made in this list, and probably many of you will disagree, but I want to justify why, for me, the Hellstriders of Slaanesh are the 4th best unit of the roster. First, they are very, very cheap, they are very easy to recruit, you can afford to recruit them even in the early campaign, and you can fill your army with them. They have, of course, the same old problem of the Slaanesh roster, so they have no armor, even if compensated by a little physical resistance and the shield. Then they cause fear, they are immune to psychology, Strider, they have an ability that increases their stats when they hit other units. And I mean, for how to use them in the battlefield and why I think they are so useful is because for their tier, for their price, are probably the best anti-cavalry killers of the game. Both like the Hearseekers, like in this offensive or defensive way, but they are far cheaper. Okay, they can protect your flanks, your sides by any cavalry, monsters, dogs, flank units whatsoever. They're very, very fast, very, very effective with the anti-large bonus, again the poison, so they can take care of everything. And as I said, they're very cheap, and they are not even demons, so they will not start to fall down when the leadership is low. So I mean, everything is perfect with this unit. Of course, they are quite weak, so you have to be careful of missile attacks and characters, but yeah, in any case, with their speed, they can be very elusive, they can move around, escape, and yeah, I'm really, probably you didn't expect that, but believe me, they are so useful in this game. In the third position we find the Soulgrinder of Slaanesh. This is another top tier unit and in my opinion one of the best Soulgrinder of the game, and actually there is not that much to say about this unit. The only thing is that it's incredibly good at his job, and his job is to hunt other monsters, to hunt and chase down cavalry, and yeah, he does it pretty well. First, the armor is high for a Slaanesh unit because it's 90. The speed is not that high compared to, I mean, the previous units we talk about, but for a monster 75 is still a good deal. The melee attack, it's strong, and then it has the magical effect and the soporific mask that basically reduce the defense and the attack of your enemy. The melee defense is not that high, but as I said, it's a predator, it's a hunter, so you don't have to. It's not a tank, okay? He's not supposed to stand still surrounded by infantry. No, he has to engage with cavalry, with monsters, and so on. The weapons rank is very high, and you have also the bonus versus large, you have the armor piercing, so, and the charge bonus that, I mean, it's nice. So, as I said, not that much to say about, but it's very fast. He has the Strider, the devastating flanker, so in one way or the other you will deal a lot of damage to your enemy, and you will see the benefits of that. At the second place we find the Exalted Chariot of Slaanesh. This is one of the most amazing unit, the most satisfying unit in this game, because just seeing his blades, his bladed wheels tearing apart, just erase entire battalions of infantry units, it's just insane. It's so satisfying and so enjoyable. I love it. I would say it doing it all the time. It is so strong. It has this big charge bonus that can be even increased in the case you're a character and you're using as a mount. The armor is high for a Slaanesh unit, the speed is 100, and if you have this powerhouse moving that fast, I mean, what can I say more? The melee attack and melee defense are always low because it's a chariot. There is magical effect and the poison, anti-infantry, damage, armor piercing, so even if the infantry is very well armored and with a lot of mass, you should not worry about, because with this mix of high charge, high damage, poison and speed, I mean, seriously, what do you want more? And they have even the perfect vigor, so they never get tired. And then the Striders, the Ecosphere, the physical resistance, with the armor. I mean, what can I say more? I'm just in love with this unit, and if it's not for the first place that there is a unit that I think that it's better, that would be definitely my favorite here, the Fiends of Slaanesh. They deserve the first place of this podium, and here in this video I will explain you why. They're an incredible monstrous infantry with a very good speed. They have 95 of speed, and believe me, for a monstrous infantry, I mean, they're basically a cavalry, even if they are monstrous infantry, because I think that even the Morfang, the Crushers, cavalry of the Ogre, for example, they are not that fast. So they're monstrous infantry, they have all the good attributes in melee, but they have the charge and the speed of a cavalry. Okay, they have not a big armor, I have to be honest like that with that, and of course you don't have to use it as a tank, they are a support unit. They have the physical resistance, they have the good melee attack and good melee defense with the soporific mask that reduce the defense and attack of the enemy. The weapon strength is high, it could be higher, but it doesn't matter. Then they have the armor piercing, and you will see that, for example, for this unit, the devastating flanker is probably one of the most effective you will ever see. Now, this unit, as I said, is a support. You have to use it for hammer and anvil strategy, but also, you know, just to support your infantry, to cover and protect your flanks. They are very versatile, they are very fast, very elusive, they can sneak around in whichever way they want and attack at the right time in the proper way. They can charge around, they can move again. I mean, you can have a lot of fun with them, because you will see they are very mobile, very intense, and then the animation, they are so cool. I mean, not only when they attack, but even when they are stopped in one position, they do all these crazy twists and stuff. So yeah, I think they really represent the hard work that Creative Assembly is doing with this game. I'm asked to get the the partnership with them. That's why I'm saying all these good things. And yeah, thank you for following me till this point. I hope you will have a nice night, and see you very soon.